Hey guys, welcome back to Femhead. Today I want to share a story with you. So whenever anyone says to me, I really want to get off hormonal birth control, but I just don't know, my response is always some form of, do it, you will not regret it. And I say this now, but truth is, I stayed on the pill for an entire year after deciding I wanted to quit. And this was after slowly learning about all the negative side effects it was having on my body, but I kept taking it. And I know you guys are probably wondering, why did you keep taking it, Victoria? That seems insane, especially when you knew all the bad things it was doing. This was because I didn't think I had any other options. This is at a time in life where I thought hormonal birth control was the only responsible way to control your fertility. I didn't know about FAM, I'd never heard of the sympto-thermal method, didn't know about period tracker apps, and I felt hopelessly trapped. I was unhappy in my relationship without realizing it, and a baby just wasn't an option, so I kept taking the pill for an entire year. And I could feel myself sinking deeper and deeper and deeper into chronic UTIs, into depression, into not knowing who I was anymore, and it really sucked. Well, that relationship finally ran its course, as most unhealthy relationships do. And what was one of the first things I did when the relationship ended? You guessed it, I stopped taking the pill. I was so ready to stop taking it that I just stopped in the middle of a pack. I didn't even finish it out. I just knew that I needed to stop. So if this sounds like you, I have some advice I want to share with you. I always get asked at the same time, can I start charting my cycle while I'm still on hormonal birth control? And the answer to this is yes and no. And I always say yes, start charting. Start taking your temperature every single morning at the same exact time. Start checking your cervical fluid multiple times a day. Start getting into the habit of doing these things on a regular basis until it becomes second nature. But the caveat to this is that many forms of hormonal birth control prevent pregnancy by doing a few different things. Either they will prevent ovulation altogether, they will thicken up your cervical mucus so that your womb is just an inhospitable place for sperm. And so what this means is you're not going to have those changes in fertility signs that you look for when you're charting, changes in your cervical fluid, changes in your temperature. And so in that sense, you're not truly charting because you're not seeing those changes. Start charting by practicing getting into the habit of doing it, because part of charting, part of FAM, part of any of these non-hormonal birth control methods is being consistent, and that's a really important key. And so I say start now, get in the consistency of it, and get into the habit and get comfortable with it, so you're not like, oh crap, I forgot to take my temperature this morning, or I forgot to check my fluid today. And at the same time, when you're doing that, start educating yourself as much as possible on the topic. Get some books, watch videos, read things online about how your body works. Really get into the nitty-gritty of what's going on in there, which will help it all make more sense. And it won't take long of doing these things before you get this really reassuring, almost confident feeling of like, yes, I am ready to get off the pill or whatever form of hormonal birth control it is. Like, I'm ready to do that. I'm ready to transition into this more natural form of birth control. And then you get off it and you never look back. I have never regretted even once, not even for a slight second, my decision to get off the pill. It has been one of the best decisions in my life. I would not be, and this sounds really cheesy, but I would not be who I am today if I didn't make that decision to get off the pill. And it kind of worries me, and not worries me, but it kind of scares me to think about like who I would be right now if I hadn't made that decision, because I know I would be in a completely different world. So that's what I have to say about all this right now. But if you're curious about taking this next step, then stay tuned till after the video and I have a little bit more information for you. And I want you to comment down below with your birth control journey, the highs, the lows, the decision to start, the different forms you've gone through, and where you are at right now and how you feel about your current birth control method. And what's one thing that you wish someone would have told you, would have shared with you before you started out on this birth control journey, after you kind of look back on it? And with that, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! Hey there, I'm not here to tell you to subscribe because you're gonna already do that, but what I can do is share with you some of the really cool things that I've created to help you take your relationship to your body to that next level. It's time, you guys, for some self-love and some shameless self-promotion. Over at femhead.com, you can choose between either of my courses or hit me up about some one-on-one menstrual coaching. This is for those of you out there that are really curious about charting your cycle, but you aren't quite sure if it might be right for you, or maybe you are ready to take that next step, but you're really nervous with how your body is going to react with coming off of hormonal birth control. You guys know who you are, and I say give yourself a chance, give me a chance, let me help you, and let's create some beautiful menstrual magic together. I'll see you over there.